So I was making my way home the other night and yeah, that's no bueno. So other symptoms you may be experiencing could include drivetrain binding, hopping, skipping. If your steed is making that characteristic clip clop, this is swapping a center diff on a manual 6-speed Subaru Legacy. I'll let you know how this goes. Okay, so I looked a lot into how to do this the right way, and there's a lot of videos on how to do it for STIs and WRXs, neither of which share the transmission that I'm dealing with. This was on a 2009 Subaru Legacy GT Spec.B that has 188,000 miles that either was ran on a spare tire, mismatched tires, or was treated very poorly for an extended period of time. This is a 6-speed, non-split case, non-DCCD. Here is what I ended up ordering. Here is what I forgot to order. And if I did this again, here are the additional things that I would order. A lot of other videos stated that there should be a bearing that gets pressed off the old one and onto the new one. For some reason, this car did not have one. All right, let's take a look into this bad boy here. See what kind of trouble we can get into. Down there. Ooh, that's got to be replaced too. Good news, so I've definitely, if nothing else, created another exhaust leak. Stay tuned on that one. Take your bets. How much gush? Oh, okay. What you up to, little snake? What's going on? Oop, there it comes. I smell ya. Good news. This is loose. I don't know how I replaced that bushing without taking all of this out, but we're getting there. Okay, bad news. Shifty Rifty fell off the wall or whatever. Ugh. Really hoping to have this off tonight, but shifter linkages being a pain, they said soak it overnight. I'm gonna abide by that. We'll see what happens. All you gotta do from there is get a real crappy punch set, stick it up in there and hit it as hard as you possibly can, and eventually you can drive it out and it'll pop out the top. Finally freaking snows. Take a look at this, and car's in a million pieces. What can a guy do? It's coming. We got it. This took like 4 days. And pause. He's not wrong. This has taken a couple days to figure out. I ended up having to rent a slide hammer from my local Napa. The silicone seal in between the two case halves is real tough to get through. The best way I found to do it was to put the lower shift linkage bracket back on the back of the casing to have a place to attach the hammer to, and with a couple hardy whacks, it popped right off. Give you one of those. It's gonna be so heavy. Just see it. Uh-oh. This is gonna suck to put back in. Smells so bad. This is what we're here for. Come here, buddy. What's that? Okay. Huh. I feel like I didn't want to do this. Okay. Okay, so sit rep, Laffy Taffy, pretty good. New diff in. Everything's cleaned up. This is ready to go back in. The problem here, my biggest worry, these little bearings, these little guys, they kind of live in there somewhere. So I gotta get this like lube, hopefully, to stick it to these grooves for just long enough that I can slide the whole thing over without them moving. So that'll just be enormous amounts of fun, I'm sure. Once we get the silicone moving, there's no going back. So hopefully this sound isn't disgusting. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Shout. Gooey, sticky, nasty. See what that does. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was about to put the silicone onto the transfer gear side. Don't do that. Definitely do it the way I did and put it onto the back of the transmission. Gonna exercise some humility here and let you watch me struggle and figure this out on my own. Definitely put the center diff onto the output shaft on the transmission side first, and take note of this plastic guy. It comes apart on purpose. It was designed that way so you can stick the front piece onto the transmission side and leave the back piece kind of folded behind the transfer gear on the back case. And as you mate them together, they'll just magically find their way and snap into place, so that all of the gear oil that gets whipped up can be funneled back into the front of the transmission. Like my daddy used to always say, if it don't fit, don't force it. Anything that's meant to be will will smoothly slide into place. A hammer will only create more problems than it will solve. Oh, that has to be it. Really? Cannot see. I think we got it. I hope so. I don't really know yet. Okay, well, I hope the plastic's in the right spot because it's touching, so that sucked. From here, let the silicone dry literally as long as you can bear it. And while you're waiting, I don't know, maybe go try your luck in California for a week and see what happens. Don't forget to film everything vertical because you live for the Insta Reels now. Once you've come to your senses and made your way back to reality, reassemble the whole thing. Exact opposite order. Just don't forget about that spring pin. It'll be twice as hard to stick back in as it was to get out. I found that a bigger hammer solved that problem pretty easy. Also take this opportunity to replace all of your shifter bushings, make sure everything's tight, slap it all back together, and then make sure to definitely let the diff wear in. I'm sure it has some kind of a break-in period, and just let her eat, you know? Probably also worth mentioning that I took this opportunity to not only replace all of the tires, but also the rims. The rims were kind of a personal choice, but the old wheels were not in any way balanced or airtight. I would have to bet that the previous damage to the diff had something to do with either mismatched tires or someone constantly dumping the clutch. I would like to do anything possible to prevent it from happening again, and as I refuse to stop sidestepping the clutch, I figure at least the tires would be the next best bet. So, peace out.